here we have an administration frowning on me asking for debt relief that they said they would provide, but you allowing the border to remain open. The resources went to help Ukraine farmers.
That is John Boyd Jr. He's talking about some of the frustrations that black farmers in America are dealing with. For instance, our money, U.S. taxpayer money, being used for immigration and also foreign aid, while black American farmers are losing their land and their very livelihoods. Still with me, the founder, and he's the president of the National Black Farmers Association, John Boyd Jr. Now, you discussed it a bit earlier, John, but I do want to revisit the fact that what you're saying is what I'm hearing from black men and black voters everywhere. We have money for Israel. We have money for Ukraine. We have money for Palestinian aid even. We have money for still continued aid. All worthwhile issues, one could argue, and yet there is no money when it comes to homegrown citizens, black American farmers specifically. I have to read it, John, as it is a overt message that says that black people are to stay in their place, which is as second-class citizens in our own country and homeland. And if it's not to be construed that way, what is the messaging that you see?
Well, I see it clearly, man, when you see the mess at the border. And people say, oh, this is a Republican issue. Man, this is an American issue. Anytime you let people come into this country and you treat them better than you do black people in this country, you put them up in hotels, you provide them with credit cards, you find them expense monies, you bus them and house them and do all of these things. And when they go through traffic checks, you let them go. But you lock up black men. And then you sit here and tell me that it's almost a crime that I'm asking or demanding that the administration live up to his commitment to provide $5 billion to black farmers. That's almost 4 decades overdue. And they, we're the other black leaders in support of this request that I've been putting out here. We're the other black leaders supporting litigation in federal court. They're silent on this issue. And I've been upfront and personal and in your face saying that I do not support other people coming into this country, getting benefits that black people can't get who are American citizens in this country, who were slaves, their forefathers were slaves on American soil. We didn't even want to be here. And here you have these people running, knocking over fences and demanding stuff, once they get here. And you won't provide the same economic opportunity for a group of people who've clearly been denied justice for many, many decades.
I'm wondering if this is a class issue, John, because when you tell me that even some black leaders and black organizations are not stepping up and saying anything loudly and continuously, I just want people listening to this conversation, if you've not already done so, Google John Boyd Jr. right now and look at the Google images. And I'm telling you to do that because you're going to see pictures of this man for the last 30 years, seriously, fighting for this very issue. With president after president, congressional leader after congressional leader. So this is not new. I'm wondering if it's a class issue, John, because I do feel that when blacks want to mobilize, and I'll speak to black women, for example, when we wanted a black woman on the Supreme Court, we mobilized and we got it. When we wanted, black leadership to look a certain way in certain spaces, we know how to mobilize and get it. Is this Black America even saying that we are deprioritizing the severity of the plight of the black farmer because it's not necessarily representative of the class positioning that we want to magnify for Black America? I ain't trying to start nothing, John, but I have to ask that question.
I think you're hitting on a very, very key issue that I've been talking about for so very, very long. Black people in this country have to step up and support America's black farmers. Every black person in this country is 2 to 3 generations away from somebody's farm. And here we don't have the overwhelming support from athletes and professional people that need to be supporting the organization. Support the National Black Farmers Association like the same way white folks go out there and support white farmers. Don't be bashful and don't look at black farmers and this aspect as bad because we were slaves on American soil, because sharecroppers. Land ownership is the most powerful tool that you can possess. If you want true economic freedom in this country, you better be trying to buy yourself some of God's land, something they don't make no more of. And every time we lose a farmer in this country, we are losing a part of our history. Think about what our forefathers went through to get those acres, what they went through to hold on to that farm and raise those children, and they went on to become doctors and lawyers. My message here today is don't forget where you came from. Don't forget where you came from, and they need to be supporting us, and they need to be speaking out and not laying down on this issue. Stand up and stand tall and demand it, and demand that we be compensated what we were promised. Because I see it as again 40 acres and a mule for people who can't compare the salt and pepper here. We didn't get it.
It's interesting. Somebody said recently, whoever feeds you owns you, John Boyd Jr. And I think that's something that Black America today could stand to really contemplate. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your commitment. And thank you for your time, John Boyd Jr. It is a pleasure always for having you on my show. Coming up, author and social media darling Tabitha Brown. She's doing a new thing in her latest book. She is challenging readers to try something new as well. It's next on The Griot.